version. Thank you for tuning in to Channel 6 News. I'm Jacqueline Minner, and today our broadcast will be over the Key Concepts 3.1. Alright, let's see who's on today's lineup for the broadcast. First, we'll have Kashayla coming live from the Central Trade Market, talking about improved transportation and commercial practices. And then next, we have Cameron coming live from the middle of nowhere on the movements of people and the effects of the environment. And then next, we have Lexi talking about the cross-cultural exchanges and new networks and trade. And lastly, I will end the broadcast with the diffusion of crops throughout the Eastern Hemisphere. Also, make sure to stay tuned for the breaking news at the end of the broadcast. Alright, on to you, Kashayla.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Today I'll be talking about how the existing trade routes flourished and how it promoted the new, powerful trading cities. Trade was a very, very big part during this time period.
And
the Silk Road, the Mediterranean, the Trans-Saharan, and Indian Ocean were the four major trade routes during this time. Cotton, silk, and porcelain spices, gems, and exotic animals. They were all luxurious goods that spread throughout the trade routes.
and
Caravanerias, which were the roadside inns, and camel saddles that helped this spread happen, as well as the new navigational technology, such as the compass and the bigger ship designs. Because the large empires' new economical tools facilitated, checks, banks, government coins, paper money all started. There was also a lot of trading organizations. For example, the Hanseatic League. The Grand Canal was a major government commercial and franchise. On to you, Cam.
Coming to you live from the middle of nowhere, my name is Cameron Carter, and our segment today is how the movement of people cause environmental and linguistic effects. Our sources tell us that the expansion of long-distance trade routes depended on environmental knowledge and technological adaptations. A few migrations contributed a very environmental impact. Is that right? Migrations from the Bantu people facilitated transitions of iron technologies and agricultural techniques. Some Bantu groups moved towards the east coast of South Africa, where the land was more open and better suited to grow crops. Other groups of Bantu people migrated south of southern Africa, where they discovered that the land was best suited for raising crops. Early migrators were both iron-using and agricultural. They did not use iron until as late as 400 BC.
and
In other news, migrators were voyaged into remote ocean, carrying with them domestic plants and animals, to sustain settlement in their new island homes. Despite how small the islands were, the migrations people had Neolithic technologies and food-producing economies. And that concludes our segment for tonight.
My name is Alexis Tavo, and today I will be talking about cross-cultural exchanges through trade and communication. So, Islam developed in the Arabian Peninsula, causing their beliefs and practices to reflect interactions of Jews, Christians, and Zoroastrians. When Muslims' rule expanded through many parts of Afro-Eurasia due to military expansion caused Islam to expand through activities of merchant missionaries. Certain groups of merchants, such as Muslims, set up diasporic communities in the Indian Ocean, or the Chinese merchants set up in Southwest Asia in order to introduce their cultural traditions into the indigenous culture. While Ibn Battuta and Marco Polo were in the midst of writing about their interregional travels, both illustrating the extended limitations of intercultural knowledge and understanding. The increase of cross-cultural interactions resulted in a diffusion of literary, artistic, and cultural traditions, like the influence of Neo-Confucianism and Buddhism in East Asia, or Hinduism and Buddhism in Southeast Asia. This increase also resulted in a diffusion of scientific and technological transitions, such as the influence of the Greek and Indian mathematics on Muslim scholars, and the return of Greek science and philosophy to Western Europe via Muslim Al-Andalus in Liberia. And this concludes my segment. To you, Jacqueline.
Breaking news! The spread of epidemic diseases, including the Black Death. This has been the second plague of the Middle Ages. The Black Death has been followed by a population downfall in Europe. Combined with 2 years of cold weather and heavy rain, this has made us to have a shortage of food. Rumors have it that it has spread throughout China and all throughout Asia. The thought is that it started in the arid plains of Central Asia and traveled through the Silk Road. Also, with the fleas on the black rats, it has spread all throughout the Mediterranean. We are now allowed to release the names of the first victims. That would include Isaac Kuhl and his wife, Magna Kelka, in Russia. Alright, that's depressing. In other news, there are new grain fields with brand new crops for us. Barley is most common, but there is also wheat, millet, bran, and flax. And for you wine drinkers out there, there are new grapevines with new grapes. Orchids are in the works to produce a whole new thing of fruits, including apples, peaches, pears, figs, lemons, mulberries, and cherries. Then there's the farmers in the regions that are growing cabbage, squash, melons, and melon. So therefore, you should be excited for our markets to open and be restocked. All right, that's it for our broadcast. Thank you for tuning in to Channel 6 News.
Coming to you live from the middle of nowhere. My name is Cameron Carter, and today our segment will be on how the movement of what?
Oh my god.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Today I'll be talking about how the existing trade routes flourished and how it promoted the new powerful trade. Cotton, porcelain.
Hello, I'm Alexis Thibault, and today I will be talking about cross-cultural exchanges. My name is Alexis Thibault, and today I will be talking about cross-cultural Okay, no.